you need to study. So let's look at paper 1. So paper 1, when they say concepts relating to partnerships, that means theory. Okay? Concepts relating to GAAP, ledger accounts, and interpretation. We didn't do that, so scrap that. Okay? Financial accounting of non-profit organizations. Can you see? It's not examinable, so you scrap that. The accounting equation of partnerships. Now remember, in the first term, they did ask a little bit of AOL. Okay? I doubt there will be any AOL in here because we have to test the income statement, the balance sheet, the note, the current note, and analysis and interpretation. So I really doubt that there will be an accounting equation. If you have time left after you studied everything else, then you go to AOL. Then they ask adjustments. Scrap that. You're not going to get a profit and loss T account. You're going to get adjustments. You're going to get the income statement and balance sheet. So obviously adjustments goes with them. Right? Then analysis and interpretation. This is your ratios. Valuation of fixed assets, including additions, whatever. This is note 3. Periodic, why they say this is that in theory they can ask you when you do the income statement or the balance sheet to do it perpetually or periodically. Okay? We're not going to do that. So you can scrap that. Okay? And then of course ethical behavior. It's really not that big a deal. It's just like if there won't be a cost of sales in your trial balance, but there'll be a trading stock balance, there'll be purchases, carriage on purchases, and a closing stock. Then you have to calculate cost of sales. Can you see? It's not really an issue. But I'll ask Sir not to put that in. So let's do paper 2. Paper 2 is your bank and creditors recons. Please put extra there. They can also ask debtors recon. Listen, and we have done debtors age analysis. We've done it. Put that in. That's grade 12 work that we can ask. Now, when we talk recons, your bank, debtors and creditors could be not your bank, your debtors and creditors can be the internal one where you have the control and the list. Your bank and your creditors can also be the internal versus the external, meaning your books and a statement from a third party, an external party. Okay? So make sure you can do that. VAT, we're not going to ask you calculations. We're only going to do theory. I'm going to do the theory with you tomorrow. There will only be theory questions, but very basic theory questions. Manufacturing, cost accounting is manufacturing. Okay? So your cost accounting, they talk their manufacturing concept, so they can ask you theory about what is a fixed cost, what is a factory overhead cost. They can ask it in short questions. That cost accounting is manufacturing T accounts. The calculation of unit costs and break-even point, we've done that. The cash budget, the projected income statement, and this is all your theory. Application of internal control, audit processes, cash, fixed assets, inventory, And they go on like this. This is just those theory questions where they would say, oh, stuff was stolen. What internal control can you put into place? Stuff like that. Okay? The valuation of fixed assets. Now let me tell you, can you see? They also talk about fixed assets here. So fixed assets here is the fixed assets that goes into your income statement and your balance sheet. So they can give you an asset disposal to see if you can calculate a profit or loss that has to go in the income statement. They can give you note 3 with everything we've done. Okay? This one is that, add to it the T account. So this one is note 3 and the T. Periodic and perpetual, that's what we've done. And then we've added now FIFO, SIM, weighted average, and then ethical behavior. Okay? Please take note. They talk here, they say, this is the ratios you need to know for paper 1, but there are some of those ratios that you also need to know for paper 2. And that's usually your ratios to do with debtors, creditors, and stock. Okay.